Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, as mentioned before, I want to convey to you greetings from Her Excellency Ambassador of Romania, Brândușa Prădescu, and her regrets for not being here today due to some unexpected and objective reasons. I also want to thank our host and Energynomics, the organizer of this timely meeting, because talking about energy is something very important today. Although everybody talks about energy, it doesn't mean it's a simple topic. In fact, in the present geopolitical and economic context, it's quite a challenging topic. And it's a challenge that all countries must face to a higher or lesser degree. Against the background of the war Russia started in Ukraine, decoupling our countries from the Russian sources of energy becomes a necessity and a priority. And in this context, the focus is on diversifying sources of routes of energy, and by that I mean also to develop new alternative sources of energy, renewable, clean sources of energy. Romania is one of least dependent countries on the import of energy from other sources, including from Russia. And we're actively working to keep that as it is and even improve the situation, also by facilitating the extraction of gas reserves from the Black Sea, by developing new sources, developing renewable energy sources, by using the hydrogen, studying the way that we can use hydrogen and decarbonize the gas network by using hydrogen, and of course, last but not least, implementing important projects in the fields of nuclear energy. Of course, we are also actively engaged in current discussion at the EU level for new possible measures in terms of consolidating European energy and reduce member states' exposure to external shocks and the possible gas shortages. As I think you already know, there are some initiatives and measures already taken, like common EU purchases of natural gas. Alternative sources of gas has been identified, including in the partnership with in a transatlantic partnership. LNG from USA, it's also a good alternative to help Europe, and especially the Southeast Europe in this endeavor, and also the plans for completing natural gas storage capacities. And I think Romania is also in a good position. As far as I know, we have already reached 76% versus an intermediary target of 57%, as we had for the 1st of September. Some other measures are still on the table. I think you all heard yesterday's speech of President of European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, emphasizing new measures in order to help Europe and to help to secure energy for Europe and curb electricity bills, because that's also one of the issues. We are talking about all kinds of measures, interventions on the wholesale market, regulatory measures on the electricity market that aims to limiting the revenues of certain market players, electricity savings, and so on. All the measures are on the table. Some decisions are to be taken so that to adapt the present situation in the EU member states. Coming back to a more regional approach and talking about the cooperation between Romania and Bulgaria in the field of energy, I have to underline the importance of this cooperation. There is already a good partnership between Romania and Bulgaria in what concerns the implementation of some important projects in the energy field. And I just want to mention the fact that Romania is interested in the development of the second phase of the Southern Gas Corridor, and in this respect, we are watching very closely the development of the project of the interconnector between Greece and Bulgaria. Hopefully, we will have it open at 1st of October. We are waiting for it. It represents a crucial piece of the energetic infrastructure in the area. And it is also a part of the vertical gas corridor, which together with, alongside with the Bulgaria-Romania interconnector from Ruse and Brua pipeline, will certainly help to diversify the energy in southeastern and central Europe. Also, in our opinion, an important step would be the revitalization of Trans-Balkan gas corridor, south-north direction, so in reverse, which also can constitute a viable supply route for the countries in the region. As mentioned before, other fields of cooperation are open, especially in the field of renewable energy. By the means of a national plan for resilience in Romania, billions of euros will be invested in energy, of which 70% will be spent in the field of green energy, solar, wind, and of course offshore wind. And I know that Bulgaria is also interested in this field. They are about to prepare the legislative framework for this intervention. Hydrogen energy is also a potential field for cooperation. As I mentioned, Romania is working to decarbonize the gas network through the use of hydrogen and natural gas through a financing line worth 400 million by 2026, and Transgaz is conducting studies in this direction. And of course, energy, nuclear energy. The development of the reactors 3 and 4, the modernization of the reactor 1, and of course the partnership between Nuclear Electrica and NuScale, the US company NuScale, which is meant to implement the new technology of a small modular reaction, SMR, in Romania as a first here in Europe, and probably that to transform Romania in a regional hub to export expertise in this field. So there are a lot of fields in which Romania and Bulgaria can and should cooperate in order to tackle the effects of the actual crisis of energy, and not just Romania and Bulgaria, but the entire Europe should work together to this. Thank you very much.